Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Manchester United versus Arsenal match preview. It's time for the big one. But is it that big this time round? Probably not. Now, before we played PSV in the first leg, my plan was let's try and get a 1-1 draw against PSV and then rest one or two players against Man United for the second leg against PSV. But obviously, since then, things have changed. We're already through in the Champions League, so the second leg doesn't really matter that much. I still want us to get still want to get to 10 goals aggregates, by the way, but PSV might not even bring their players for the second leg. I think Sporting did that against Dortmund in the last round. They literally didn't take their big players for the second game, the likes of Gyökeres. So maybe PSV might do the same thing. So we'll have an opportunity to rest a few players against PSV for the midweek game. So between either side of that PSV game, we have Man United this weekend and Chelsea at the following weekend. So those two are usually very, very big games. I still think they are. Obviously, don't want to go losing to Man United and Chelsea in the same week. That would not be great. And also, listen, we still need to I still feel like we're definitely going to be in the top four, but you still have to make sure, the games against Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid are not going to be until next month. They're only going to be played 1 month from now. So we don't have those games anytime soon. But what we need to do is to keep building momentum. We need to, keep on building the confidence until we play those games against Atletico Madrid or Real Madrid. We don't want to, go into those games of having lost 2 or 3 games in a row. So we need to keep on building momentum. Now, obviously, we are not going to win the league. We already know that. By the time we play this game, Liverpool will be 16 points ahead of us. Yes, we'll have 2 games in hand. If we win that, we'll be 10 points behind them. But it's already over. So our focus is just to make sure those teams below us don't catch up with us, and also momentum. Now, at the moment, Nottingham Forest are 6 points behind us. Manchester City are 7 points behind us. Now, those two teams are playing each other. Now, imagine if you lose to Man United and let's say Man City beat Nottingham, they'll be 4 points behind us, which would be, that's not a comfortable gap. And something that you can't let happen this season is Man City finishing ahead of us. That would be disastrous because it feels like they've lost 100 games this season. So you can't let them finish ahead of us. Same with Nottingham. If Nottingham beats Man City and we lose, Nottingham are only 3 points behind us. And I think fifth will also get Champions League. Chelsea at the moment are 8 points behind us. So what should ideally happen this weekend is we beat Man United and then Man City and Nottingham draw, and then we are 8 points ahead of Nottingham, 9 points ahead of Man City, and next week you have the chance of to go 11 points ahead of Chelsea. And then from that point on, then for the last 9 games, we can be comfortable knowing that we're not going to drop down to third. And keep winning until we play against Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, which those games are 1 month away. We still have, I think, Fulham before that. We'll still have Everton before that. There's an international break before that. So those games are still far, but you still need to keep on building momentum. Now, as I said at the beginning, many Man United fans are saying this game doesn't matter. They have a protest this weekend. Even if they win, they'll move up 1 position. They're so far away even from the top 10. They're not going to get relegated. So, the fans are saying it doesn't mean anything. They're more focused on Real Sociedad because, they have a big game against Sociedad in the Europa League the following 4 or 5 days after this game, 4 days after this game. For us, we're already through in the Champions League. So, yeah, it's not that big, but, we don't have anything else. Let's just win. We don't want to lose to Man United. They ruined a lot of my childhood. It's always great beating Man United, especially doing the double. We did a double against them last season, beating them home and away. This season, we beat them 2-0 at the Emirates. Can we go and do another double over there? It was long since we had won at Old Trafford before 2020. We had gone like 14 years without winning there in the Premier League. But recently, we can get a third win in 5 years at their place, which would be great. That's a ground we never used to win. So that would be great. And obviously, it feels good to keep sinking them farther and farther and farther. So it's still an interesting game. It might be a boring game. It might be one of those boring 1-0s or 0-0s. But considering we scored 7 goals the other day against PSV, can we see more of the same? There was a bit of changes, Nwaneri drifting into the number 10 position, getting into the box. Merino's getting involved in the play a lot. Odegaard got a lot of space in that game. I'm not sure if he's going to get the same in this one. Timber was overlapping well. He was getting into the box a lot of times. There are a few changes in that game tactically. Can you see the same here? Keep building on that. So yes, these games are trying to secure for us top four. Top four is very important. The kind of players we wanted to buy this summer transfer window. We can't dare not get top four. That would be disastrous. So it's important for getting us into the top four, but it's also important for building momentum, heading to the second leg against PSV and heading to the international break and heading to the games against one of the Madrid teams. Those are very, very important. So interesting, man. Interesting. So again, it's not going to be easy. They just eliminated us from the FA Cup a couple of months ago, so it's obviously not easy. However bad they are, they can still beat us. They can still take points away from us. Bruno can still turn up against us and do something. But I'm actually hearing their fans saying they should rest all of those players. I don't think they'll do that, but maybe they don't have a bench. They're kind of like us. They don't have a bench at all. The other day they had 7 players on the bench against Sociedad, when you allowed like 12 in that competition on the bench, and players on that bench were like, on that bench were like Heaven. Who else was on that bench? Ericsson, players that Man United fans don't treat. So it would be great to get a big victory against them. Imagine if you go there and won 4-0 or something. It would be great for momentum, boost our energy going into the next game against PSV and Chelsea. So very interesting, very interesting. Now, which players do we have available? So as I said, before we played PSV, I was thinking, be a droid PSV and then rest a few players from United. But that has now changed. For me, now I want us to play our strong team in this one and then rest a few players against PSV in midweek. I'd rest at least 5 players against PSV in midweek, but we'll talk about that game in closer to that match. So one player that I'll definitely rest for that PSV game is Timber. Sorry, he's played way too many games. Sorry. For this one, keep the squad the same. We don't have too many players to change, but the players who played the other day played really well. Play them again. The only position that we can really rotate usually is left back because of Calafia and Lewis Kelly. And now that Ben White is back, him and Timber can play. But the rest, we don't have any options up front. Center back, it just remains the same. So let's get to it, actually. So this would be the lineup I go for this match. So Raya in goal. I'm starting Calafia in the left side. Lewis Kelly is very good. Like I've watched Lewis Kelly I went back and watched all of his games, like all of his how he does defensively, how he covers one-on-one, and the way he drifts forward, the way he carries the ball for us forward. He's very, very good. I cannot wait to see what the future looks like for him. And Calafia is very good going forward as well. So I think that is a position that we are covered now we don't have to sort it out next season at all. And Calafia can also cover at center back, and he might also be able to cover at center forward. That is a weird combination, but he can. So that is the back four I'm going for: Calafia, Gabriel, Saliba, and Timber. They could be up against Chidobe Martin. Please don't let that guy score a winning goal against us. That would not be great at all. But yeah, keep the defense the same. And last season, we were able to keep a clean sheet. Last season's game really mattered. Like we had to win that to, take it to the last week of the season. We were so close to winning the title. This one, basically trying to secure number 2. So Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, and Calafia at the back. I have no problem with Lewis Kelly starting, but obviously this week, the next 3 games, they have to rotate Lewis Kelly, Calafia, and maybe even Zinchenko. Midfield, keep it the same. Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. Odegaard was really good against PSV. Rice, for me, I think people underestimate Rice very much. He's one very important player in this team. He does a lot for us going forward. The assists he gets. He's created, I think, the most big chances this year or something in the whole Premier League, which is absolutely crazy. And it's not just from corners, it's open play as well. His energy, the energy that you're showing against Nottingham Forest and PSV in the last minute of those games when everyone else is tired, absolutely incredible. So Rice starts as well next to Partey. And Rice is deputy in that position anyway. Is playing for us in a different position, so you don't have too many options there. So Rice, Partey, and Odegaard. Partey will have a work there in terms of covering Bruno, because Bruno usually gets some space and scores like he did against us last game. And then up front, I'll keep it the same. Nwaneri, Merino, and Trossard. Nwaneri, water player is going to be up against maybe Dalot on that left side who likes going forward, so he's going to get spaces. And Man United are terrible in terms of defending cutbacks, like when the player runs to the byline and crosses the ball. I think Odegaard has scored that kind of goal against them 2 or 3 times over the last 3 seasons. Hopefully can get another goal in this one. I feel like he's going to get a similar goal in this game. And Man United are also terrible in terms of defending set pieces. We actually haven't scored a set piece in like 2 months. So that is interesting. Maybe this could be the game. So Nwane is going to get opportunities to run to his right foot and cross the ball like he did against PSV for Odegaard's goal. And he's going to get spaces in terms of running into the box like he did for his goal, his second goal, like the goal against PSV, the second goal in that match. Trossard the same, is going to get spaces to get into the box. And Merino hopefully can get a couple of chances in this game. I think Merino overall, the games he's played up front, he didn't get a chance against West Ham at all. But the ones that he did, he almost scored against Nottingham and he scored against Leicester. He played really well against PSV. So I think it's a case of giving him opportunities. If he gets those opportunities on the ground, on the air, he can definitely get a goal or test the goalkeeper at least. So keep it the same, keep the score there the same. The only change maybe Calafiori for Lewis Kelly. Again, I have no problem if Lewis Kelly starts ahead of Calafiori and then Calafiori comes on. Both of them are really good. I'd prefer Lewis Kelly against Chelsea though to mark Neto and Palmer, whoever plays on that side, because he's better one-on-one defending. But I don't know who's going to play on the right side for Man United. I don't think they're going to, like attack like the way maybe Chelsea would do next week on that side. So I would play Calafiori in this one, play Lewis Kelly next week against Chelsea. So again, let's let's take advantage of their weaknesses. That's cutbacks from the wings and Rice or Odegaard get into spaces, and also the corner kicks, the free kicks, Man United are not that great in terms of defending them. Let's take advantage of that. Win this game. We'll still be 13 points behind Liverpool with the game in hand. We're not really looking at Liverpool, but we're trying to secure that second place. We don't want to, get into mid-April, and Man City are 3 points behind us, Nottingham 4 points behind us. No, we don't want that. And our toughest fixtures remaining are this one, Liverpool and Chelsea. We still have games against Southampton and Ipswich. So if we get through this week beating Man United and Chelsea, I think we've definitely secured the second position, and we can go into next month just focus on that Champions League, those 2 Champions League games coming up. Hopefully 4 games coming up, hopefully 5 Champions League games coming up. That is what we're hoping for. So going to be very interesting. What is my prediction for this match? Oh, again, as I said, we haven't won at Old Trafford that many times. Whenever we win, it's 1-0. Last season, it was 1-0. 2020, the Aubameyang penalty, it was 1-0. 2006, the Bayo goal, it was 1-0. And there was another 1-0 with Will Todd back in 2002. And there was another 1-0 with Overmars like in 1998. So we usually win there, but it's always 1-0. There was an FA Cup one where as well we won 2-1. It was the 2015, I think, Welbeck scored in Montreal. We never win at Old Trafford. Like literally, I can remember all of them from the top of my head because we haven't won that many times. But can we make it? How many wins will it be? 5 wins in a row against Man United in the Premier League. Again, that is something that we never usually do. So that would be great. Like, the rivalry between us, put it on the side. Let's just show them that, every time you're going to be playing you guys now for the next 10 years, we're always going to be beating you, hopefully. So I'm going to go for, I feel like they're going to score, but depending on how they're going to approach the game, if they really just care about the Sociedad game, they might not, score. But I'm going to go for Man United 1, and I'm going to go for Arsenal 3. Yeah, 3-1 win for Arsenal. Odegaard to score that goal I've told you, hopefully a cutback or something. I'm going to go for Merino to score and a corner kick. So let's go Gabriel, Merino, and Odegaard to score 3-1 win for Arsenal. Probably Bruno to score for them, or that Zaxi guy. He'll probably find a way to score against us. Hopefully it's not Chido or B. Martin, but 3-1 win for Arsenal. I'd love a clean sheet there. That would be great. But 3-1 win, keep up the momentum, keep up the confidence going. Let's get a couple of wins in a row. This entire season, you haven't won more than 3 Premier League games in a row. So now we've won against, we haven't even won. So let's start with this one. Make it this 1 win out of 1, then Chelsea, then Fulham, then Everton. Can we get at least four wins in a row in the Premier League? That would be great. So 3-1 win to Arsenal. Let me know a prediction. Let me know who you would start for this one between Calafiori and Lewis Kelly. And would you give Ben White a run out in this one and rest Timber? Let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.